The date is August 22nd, 2026. New York City. The USTA Billie Jean King National Tennis Center is buzzing with anticipation. The US Open, the final Grand Slam of the year, is just days away, and the world's best players are putting the finishing touches on their preparations. But on this morning, something extraordinary is about to happen. Alexandra Eala, the 21-year-old Filipina sensation who has taken the tennis world by storm, is on the practice court, drilling with her team. The sun is shining. The courts are pristine. And then, a figure approaches that makes everyone stop in their tracks. Martina Navratilova, the 18-time Grand Slam champion. The woman who won a record 332 weeks as world number one. The woman who has been one of Alexandra's biggest admirers, praising her on social media and in interviews. The tennis legend is walking onto the practice court, racket in hand, ready to join Alexandra's practice session. The players freeze. The coaches stare. The cameras capture every moment. And when Navratilova finally speaks, her message leaves the entire tennis world speechless. This is the story of that shocking moment. This is the story of the greatest player in tennis history offering her wisdom to the sport's brightest rising star. This is the story of how Alexandra Eala earned the respect of a legend, and how a simple practice session became a moment of history. Face screaming in fear Philippines. Before she stepped onto the practice court, before she offered her shocking message, Martina Navratilova had been watching Alexandra Eala's rise with keen interest. The Czech-American legend, who won 18 Grand Slam singles titles and spent a record 332 weeks as world number one, had been analyzing the Filipina sensation's game for months. She had watched Eala conquer Wimbledon's center court against Iga Swiatek. She had watched her defeat Jessica Pegula in the Washington final. She had watched her sell out stadiums in Toronto and Cincinnati. And she had come to a conclusion. Alexandra Eala was something special. Navratilova's interest in Eala was not just casual. She had been one of the few tennis legends to offer detailed technical analysis of Eala's game. She's crafty. She's a good lefty. She uses her variety nicely, Navratilova said. She had praised Eala's footwork, speed, and ability to counterattack and finish at the net. But she had also been honest about where Eala could improve. Her serve. It's too much of a puffball, Navratilova said on Tennis Channel during Wimbledon. She noted that Eala's serve was often clocked at only 80-85 miles per hour, despite her having the physical ability to hit it at 105 miles per hour. She had urged Eala to change the grip and use the leftiness more, and to start slicing her serves to use her left-handedness to maximum effect. Navratilova's advice was not just criticism. It was a sign of respect. She didn't offer detailed technical analysis to players she didn't believe in. She offered it to players she thought had the potential to become champions. And she believed Eala had that potential. Alex Eala, she is building a whole new craze in Southeast Asia and the Philippines, bringing more fans into tennis, Navratilova had said. Now, she was taking that belief to the next level. She was stepping onto the practice court to offer her wisdom firsthand. Navratilova had also been impressed by Eala's ability to handle the pressure of a packed stadium. There's no maybe about it, she said of Eala's growing fame. She has been just so good for the sport, and the players are loving it as well. She noted that Eala's presence had brought an entirely new demographic to the WTA Tour. In Toronto, the crowd was just amazing. That is the star power that Alex Eala has. She's not even a top 10 player yet, and she's selling out stadiums. That is the Eala effect. Navratilova had watched Eala's evolution closely, noting how she had handled the pressure with grace. The first time I saw her play, I thought she had the game. But now I see she has the whole package, Navratilova said. She has the game, the mentality, the fan base, and the presence. That is a rare combination. The moment Navratilova walked onto the practice court, the atmosphere shifted. The players stopped mid-rally. The coaches turned to stare. Alexandra herself froze, her eyes wide with disbelief. And then, Navratilova smiled. She walked up to Alexandra, extended her hand, and said something that would set the tone for the entire session. I've been watching you, and I think you're ready. The words were simple, but they carried enormous weight. Coming from Navratilova, they were a validation of everything Alexandra had achieved and everything she had the potential to achieve. They were a recognition that she was not just a promising young player. She was a force to be reckoned with. And she had the backing of the tennis world's greatest legends. Navratilova didn't just offer words of encouragement. She got to work. She picked up a racket, stepped onto the court, and began hitting with Alexandra. The sight of the two left-handers trading ground strokes was surreal. Navratilova, at 69 years old, still moved with the grace and precision that had made her a champion. And Alexandra, at 21, matched her stroke for stroke. The practice session lasted for over an hour, with Navratilova offering pointers between points. She emphasized the importance of footwork, the value of variety, and the need to use her left-handedness to maximum effect. "You're a lefty," Navratilova said. "That's your biggest weapon. Use it. Don't just hit the ball. Make them uncomfortable." The session was captured by cameras and shared across social media. The tennis world was stunned. Navratilova didn't just join any practice session. She joined Alexandra's. It was a moment of history, a moment that proved that the Eala effect was not just about ticket sales and merchandise. It was about respect. It was about recognition. It was about the greatest players in tennis history acknowledging that a new star had arrived. The media swarmed the practice court, capturing every moment. Navratilova, seeing the cameras, took the opportunity to send a message directly to Alexandra's fans. "I know there's a lot of pressure on her," Navratilova said, "but I believe in her. And her fans should know that she's going to be great. She's going to win Grand Slams. She's going to be a world #1. And she's going to make the Philippines proud." The crowd that had gathered around the practice court erupted in cheers. It was a moment of pure joy and celebration. Chapter number 3, Navratilova's shocking message. After the practice session, Navratilova sat down for an interview. The cameras were rolling. The journalists were waiting. And what she said left everyone stunned. She didn't just praise Alexandra's game. She revealed a message that could change the trajectory of her career. "Alexandra is special," Navratilova began. "She has the talent, the work ethic, and the mindset to become one of the greats. But there's something else that sets her apart. She has the support of a nation. She has the love of millions. And that is something that cannot be taught." Navratilova paused. She looked directly into the camera. And then, she delivered the words that sent shockwaves through the tennis world. "I've been in this sport for over 50 years. I've seen players come and go. I've seen talent wasted and potential squandered. But I've never seen anything like what Alexandra Eala is doing. She is not just a tennis player. She is a movement. And I believe she is going to change this sport forever." The words were powerful. They were unprecedented. No one had ever spoken about a 21-year-old player with such reverence. But Navratilova wasn't finished. She continued, "I know she's been working on her serve. I know she's been listening to the advice of her coaches and the legends who came before her. And I want her to know that she's on the right track. She's going to win Grand Slams. She's going to become world #1. And she's going to inspire millions of young athletes to pick up a racket and dream big." Navratilova's message was more than just a prediction. It was a promise. A promise that the tennis world was ready for a new generation of stars. A promise that Alexandra was on the right path. A promise that her journey was far from over. She went on to say, "The way she handles the pressure, the way she interacts with her fans, the way she carries herself, she is a role model in every sense of the word. And I think tennis needs more players like her." Navratilova's practice session with Alexandra was not just about motivation. It was about technical improvement. The tennis legend had been analyzing Alexandra's game for months, and she had identified specific areas for improvement. During the session, she focused on 3 key areas: the serve, the return, and court positioning. On the serve, Navratilova emphasized the importance of power and variety. "Your serve is better than it was at Wimbledon," she said. "But it can still be a weapon. You have the ability to hit 105 miles per hour. You just need to trust it. And more importantly, you need to use your left-handedness to create angles that right-handers can't handle. Slice it wide. Kick it high. Make them guess." Navratilova had previously noted that Eala's serve was too much of a puffball, and that even her first serve was often clocked at only 80-85 miles per hour. On the return, Navratilova stressed the value of aggression. "You're a great returner, but sometimes you're too passive. Step in. Take the ball early. Put pressure on your opponent from the first shot. That's how champions are made." On court positioning, Navratilova emphasized the importance of staying close to the baseline. "You're fast. You're quick. Use that to your advantage. Don't give your opponents time to set up. Stay close to the baseline and take the ball early. That's how you dominate. Navratilova also worked with Alexandra on her backhand slice, a shot she believed Eala could use more effectively. The backhand slice is a weapon that a lot of players underestimate, Navratilova said. If you can hit it with depth and variety, it can disrupt your opponent's rhythm. And against players who like to hit with pace, it can be a game changer. Alexandra absorbed the advice, practicing the shot repeatedly until Navratilova was satisfied. That's better, Navratilova said. That's the way you win matches. Navratilova wasn't the only legend who believed in Alexandra. Greg Rosetsky, the former world number 4 and 1997 U.S. Open finalist, had also been watching her rise closely. He had echoed Navratilova's advice, noting that Alexandra's serve needed to become a weapon where she could get the first strike in after the serve. He had also emphasized that Alexandra had the knowledge of how to mix it, but she needs a bit more accuracy and a bit more power. Rosetsky had also defended Alexandra's packed schedule. The 21-year-old had been playing a demanding schedule, with 8 matches in just 2 weeks as she lifted the Washington title and advanced to the 4th round in Toronto. But Rosetsky saw no cause for concern. No chance of that happening, he said. Yes, she's going to get the load. But if you need to win a major, you need to win 7 matches in a row, and she's done that already. He pointed out that Alexandra was physically already in good shape. She's strong mentally. The mind and body go hand in hand. Rosetsky also noted the strategic advantage of Alexandra's schedule. She'll play Cincy, and then she'll have a week off to prepare for the U.S. Open. That's what all the big names do. So for me, there's no concern. He concluded, just been super impressed, and it just keeps on solidifying why we think she's going to be a big star in this game, and already is. Rosetsky had also been impressed by Alexandra's ability to handle the pressure of a packed stadium. She's not just a player. She's a performer, he said. And when you have that kind of presence, it's something special. She's going to be a star for a long time. He added that he believed Alexandra was on the verge of a major breakthrough. I think she's going to win multiple Grand Slams. She's that good. When asked about Navratilova's practice session and her shocking message, Alexandra responded with characteristic grace and humility. She did not take the praise for granted. She did not let it distract her. Instead, she focused on what mattered most, her preparation. It was an incredible honor to have Martina Navratilova on the court with me today, Alexandra said. She is one of the greatest players in history. To have her offer advice, to have her believe in me, it's something I'll never forget. But I also know that I still have so much work to do. I'm not where I want to be yet. I haven't won a Grand Slam. I haven't reached a Grand Slam semifinal. I have a long way to go. And I'm going to keep working, keep fighting, keep pushing. That's the only way I'll get there. Alexandra's words were a masterclass in diplomacy. She accepted the praise without letting it distract her. She expressed gratitude without appearing entitled. She showed the world that she was not just a talented player. She was a focused player. She was a determined player. She was a champion in the making. Alexandra also took a moment to thank her fans. I know there are millions of Filipinos watching me right now, she said. And I want them to know that I'm not taking any of this for granted. Every match I play for them. I play for the Philippines. And I'm going to keep fighting until I make them proud. Her words were met with an outpouring of support on social media. The hashtag #EalaPride trended worldwide. The news of Navratilova's practice session and her shocking message spread like wildfire across social media. The hashtag #NavratilovaEala trended worldwide within hours. Fans from the Philippines, the United States, and around the world shared their excitement and pride. This is incredible, one fan wrote. Martina Navratilova is the GOAT, and she recognizes that Alexandra is the future. This is a moment of history. Another fan posted, Navratilova doesn't just practice with anyone. This is a big deal. Alexandra Eala has truly arrived. The Filipino community was particularly moved. They saw Navratilova's gesture as a recognition of Alexandra's global impact. This is proof that the whole world is watching Alexandra, one fan wrote. She is not just our pride. She is tennis's pride. Another fan posted, Martina Navratilova's words are a prophecy. Alexandra Eala is going to change the sport forever. The reaction was not limited to fans. Players also took notice. Some of Alexandra's fellow competitors, including Amanda Anisimova, had already acknowledged her growing influence. Anisimova had said, I know how loved Alex is, and for good reason. Now, Navratilova's endorsement had taken that recognition to another level. The tennis world was united in its admiration for Alexandra, and the excitement for the U.S. Open was reaching a fever pitch. One fan captured the sentiment perfectly. "I've been following Alexandra since she was 15. I knew she was special. But to see her on the practice court with Martina Navratilova, it's surreal. It's a dream come true. And it's just the beginning." The U.S. Open draw had been released, and Alexandra's path was challenging but not insurmountable. She was projected to be a top 18 seed in the women's singles draw. Her path to the final was a minefield of Grand Slam champions and former world number ones. But Alexandra had already proven that she could beat the best. She had defeated Iga Swiatek at Wimbledon. She had defeated Jessica Pegula in Washington. She had defeated Elena Rybakina and Coco Gauff. She was not afraid of anyone. Alexandra was also set to compete in the mixed doubles alongside Canadian star Felix Auger-Aliassime. Auger-Aliassime, the world number 4, had spoken about the Eala effect and how excited he was to experience it firsthand. "I think the people in our respective teams kind of talked and made that happen," he said. "But yeah, it was a great opportunity because obviously I didn't play last year, but this time around, to kind of feel what it's like to have the Eala effect and fan base behind me is going to be funny because she's younger than me, but I feel like I'm the one that's like, you know, she has a fan base, right? Like, she's carrying the crowd. So, it's going to be interesting." The U.S. Open was the biggest stage of all. It was the tournament where champions were made. It was the tournament where legends were born. And Alexandra was ready. She had said, "I focus only on my level of play. The ultimate goal is to win." With Navratilova's endorsement and the love of a nation behind her, she was poised to make history once again. The draw also included a potential matchup with world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka in the quarterfinals. Sabalenka, who had been struggling with her own form, would be a formidable opponent. But Alexandra had already proven that she could beat the best. "I'm not afraid of anyone," she said. "I know I can compete with anyone on any given day. I just have to go out there and play my game." Navratilova's welcome was not just a gesture. It was a statement. She had been one of Alexandra's biggest champions, praising her journey and her impact on the sport. When Alexandra stunned the world by defeating Iga Swiatek at Wimbledon, Navratilova was among the first to analyze the match, noting that Swiatek was not good emotionally and could not keep it together. She had also cited Alexandra as one of the players she enjoys watching most, saying, "Alex Eala, she is building a whole new craze in Southeast Asia and the Philippines, bringing more fans into tennis." Navratilova's praise was echoed by other tennis greats. Greg Rosetsky, the former British number 1, had agreed with Navratilova's assessment of Eala's serve. He had said, "The serve does need to become a weapon where she can get the first strike in after the serve." He had also predicted a deep Wimbledon run for Eala before the tournament, and he had been proven right. The consensus among tennis experts was clear. Eala had the talent, the work ethic, and the support to become one of the greats. Navratilova's welcome was a sign of the mutual respect between the two. The legendary champion recognized the future of the sport, and the rising star was humbled by the recognition. Navratilova also praised Alexandra's ability to connect with her fans. "She's not just a tennis player. She's a brand. She's a movement. And she's doing it the right way. She's staying humble. She's staying grounded. And that's what's going to make her a champion." Navratilova's practice session and her shocking message were more than just a moment. They were a promise. A promise that the tennis world was ready for a new generation of stars. A promise that Alexandra was on the right path. A promise that her journey was far from over. Alexandra's journey from the cracked courts of Quezon City to the bright lights of Arthur Ashe Stadium had been nothing short of miraculous. She had overcome challenges that would have broken lesser players. She had faced injuries, setbacks, and doubts. She had remained humble, grounded, and grateful. And she had inspired millions of Filipinos around the world to dream big. Navratilova had said it best. "I've been in this sport for over 50 years. I've seen players come and go. I've seen talent wasted and potential squandered. But I've never seen anything like what Alexandra Eala is doing. She is not just a tennis player. She is a movement. And I believe she is going to change this sport forever." The tennis world was watching. The fans were believing. And Alexandra Eala was just getting started. From the cracked courts of Quezon City to the sold-out stadiums of Toronto and Cincinnati. From the cover of Forbes to the bright lights of Arthur Ashe Stadium. Her journey has defied every expectation. This is not the end. This is only the beginning.